4 levels of listening. How to optimize learning and mastery of anything. Hearing and listening are different. Hearing is a biological act of perceiving sound. You have to have good eardrums to hear well. Listening is a cognitive act of perceiving meaning. You have to speak and understand the same language to be able to listen to others. Listening well is the primary key in learning and mastery of anything. If this surprises you, this is because you are not aware of the full range of listening. Let us review the 4 levels of listening. This work is inspired by C. Otto Scharmer's Theory U. We listen to others to confirm what we already know, debate what we seem to know, dialogue what we know and don't know, come to our fuller being. All the clips in this Tusita education channel is meant for you to listen, to dialogue and come to your fuller being. Listen with childlike innocence and you will reap the fruits. We are not confining our listening only with another human. It can involve listening to oneself as well as listening to other sentient beings like animals, plants and planets. If our primary mode of listening is just to confirm what we already know, this is the most unproductive form of listening, unless our job is a detective meant to probe others. Since it is an act of self-confirming, no learning can happen because self-confirming involves validating the past, while learning is about opening to future possibilities. If you find others have difficulty or refuse to listen to you keenly, check to see if you are just listening to validate your personal views. Then you are not opening up, and others won't too. Listening to debate what we seem to know is an act of fact confirming. We listen to compare and confirm facts with what we already know. We want to be right. If the facts are incongruent with ours, we would debate verbally or mentally, insisting to be right. There's no room for learning, but at least the thinking mind is active. Listening to confirm and debate comes easily to many. Many aspects of our work life, business and professions force us to listen in such ways. But if you are stuck with only these 2 levels, mastery or growth will be challenging. You cannot lead or teach comfortably because you are stuck only in the known past. When we listen to dialogue on what we know and don't know, magic starts to happen. We shift our focus from matter, individuals, to a field, surroundings. The heart starts to open. We sincerely try to see another's point of view. Context becomes more important than content. And content comes naturally without effort. How do we listen with the intention to dialogue? We first practice listening within us, reflection. Then we practice to listen and dialogue with babies, animal pets, and the very elderly. Once there is familiarity with listening to dialogue with your immediate surroundings, your inner field starts to expand. Then it's time to listen to come to your fuller being. When you listen to dialogue, you are sensing with an open heart. The next deeper level of listening involves holding on to presence and surrendering to the moment. The main roadblocks to this deep listening is the fear of the unknown, not knowing what will emerge from this way of listening. But deep learning and mastery requires courage. The main practice to induce this deep listening and to reduce fear is to meditate, to open up the generative space within you, to facilitate the holding and growing of what is new and good. Listening to the sacred texts of your tradition without analysis is important too. Hebrew and Latin for the Western traditions, while Sanskrit and Chinese for the East. Here ends the review of the 4 levels of listening, from the self-absorbed way to the no-self way. All levels have their place, but please do not get stuck with only the first 2 levels. Bonus materials. The Vedic India 4 levels of speech. Try to see the connections and reflect on the 4 levels of speech with the 4 levels of listening. The Vedic 4 levels of speech are Vaikari, distinct words, mouth active, like wave droplets above the ocean. Madhyama, unity of word and object, breath active, like waves on the ocean. Pasyanti, eyes active, reverberations of wave-like appearances. Para, inner divinity active, complete silence of the deep ocean. Vaikari is the domain of languages. Words formed to give meaning. However, meaning is only a close approximation to objects, never 100% accurate. A distinct gap always exists. If your speech depends solely on Vaikari words, you will eventually be tired, confused, and bored. Only the head is used and overused without the heart connection. Madhyama, word-object unity, is reflection and inner dialogue, unspoken but formed within the heart space. When spoken out, one realizes that much cannot be uttered. The regular practice of silence, mauna, allows us to hone the breath power of Madhyama and also refine the graceful use of Vaikari, distinct words. Pasyanti, reverberations, is speech that is heard and seen, beyond words and objects, name and form. All true sacred texts are composed by seers on the level of Pasyanti. In Vaikari speech, we describe what is true but always ended only with an approximation. When you master Pasyanti speech, truth follows your words. All that you utter becomes proof. Para, deep silence speech, is better left unspoken here to prevent complicating the subject. Para speech is meant to be realized, not verbalized. If you have gained value from this work, always give others the opportunity to reap this value too. Sharing is caring, and caring brings fortune.